Alright, let's actually start catching some Pokemon. That's kind of the whole point of this. We finally got all of the Wisps for Spiritomb, so let's actually go out and start catching some stuff. First, let me clear out some space in my inventory. I don't even know what that item was just now. I don't think I ever got that one. Alright, so let's take a look. What do I need? I need damn near the entire Eevee line. Won't those be fun to evolve? Yeah, we got Crobat last time, so that's fine. Once again, there's a couple of static ones I can easily take off. I don't know what order I'm going to do these in. I feel like I'm just going to go in whatever I find first. There's a Shinx line. I clearly don't need the Shinx line. I'm borderline tempted to go here and see what might be spawning that I will need. But you know what? I don't think anything we have here is necessarily too hard to find. Yeah, I don't think any of these are... Well, maybe Bonsly? Where does Bonsly spawn in this game? Where does Togepi spawn in this game? Like, a good number of these are just going to be evolutions. I am wasting time. Let's just jump right in. Well, Eevee's on my mind, so let's go here, see if we can find that Eevee to spawn. Let's see, where does it spawn again? Wasn't it, like, somewhere around here? Okay, it's not that close. It was next to where the Alpha Rapidash is, no? Like, maybe they're in the corner. Aw, did you see all the graphics in the game just shift? Unless this is Outbreak only. I may as well... Actually, I feel like I may as well just wait for an Eevee Outbreak. I feel like that might be easier, given how hard they are to catch in this game. While I'm here, I guess I could go for the Alpha Snorlax. Oh wait, no, we covered last time I don't need the Alpha Snorlax. Are you serious? We just started. Bidoof doesn't run away, does it? No, I think it does. Well, I saved the game, so it's fine. How do I lock onto another one again? No, yo! I am about to break my controller. Okay, it's fine. See, this is why I have the laptop in front of me. Where is the Alakazam in here? So while I'm looking some stuff up, I just want to mention that I am alone tonight. I am completely alone tonight. Let's see, Alakazam. Oh wait, I typed in ZA. I'm supposed to type in Arceus. So yeah, I am completely alone tonight. Tonight, my entire family went to the movie theater. My parents, my sister, and my sister's husband, they all went together to watch some Chinese film I have no interest in. They did ask me if I wanted to go with them, but just, you know, watch my own film. Watch a film on my own, while they watch theirs. And I thought about it, I was almost gonna do it. But there just wasn't many films out. There's just not many films out right now that interest me. At least not to the point I really desperately want to go to the theater and watch it. You know? There were 3 options I was considering, but one of them was being Send Help. I wanted to go watch that. In fact, out of all the options available right now, that would have been on the top. But it was only it was only in 3D, and I don't want to watch in 3D. And also, I don't think the screen time was lining up, because my family's film, it was premiering at 10 p.m. And I think the screening for Send Help was like maybe 9:30. Well, I had two. There it is. I had two other options. There was the movie The Housemaid with Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. Did I even say her name right? It was either that or Shelter with Jason Statham. So my options were either a Sydney Sweeney movie or a Jason Statham movie. Well, The Housemaid, I could have, but the screening was at 9:30, and they didn't exactly want to go early just so I can make my screen time. Like, you know, so I can make it to my screening. And then Sheltered, it's like, well, that one does air at 10 p.m., so there was nothing stopping me from going to watch that one. But, sure, I would have been fine to watch the film, but it's like, I'm only watching it just because they're going, and, you know, I didn't really want to spend money, especially the fact that I saw the seatings for it. At the time, I'm not going to watch Melania, you're right. I could have enjoyed pure cinema had I thought about that. But, yeah, the Jason Statham movie, you know, I'm not interested to the point I want to go out and spend money to watch it. So it's like, fine, I'll just stay home and I'll do this. What can I even use? Nirvana the band... Wait, the... Nirvana the band, the show, the movie will be in theaters in a couple of days, and I'll 100% go see that. Huh, I haven't heard of that. What is that? You know, it's kind of fun you have Recover, since you're burned. Nice. But yeah, just not really anything for me to watch in this theater right now. Had I not watched Iron Lung like 2 weeks ago, this would have been the perfect opportunity for me to go and watch it. But, oh well. You know what? No, I should leave the game running so that a space-time distortion can form. Do I even have anything I need to catch in this space-time distortion? Like in this area? Let me see. I keep closing the tab, but I should keep it open, because I know I'll need it every couple of days when I play this. Okay, let me see. The ones here... Well, it does have Leafeon and Sylveon, which I clearly do need. Sneasel and Weavile, I did see. I already got those. I am missing Gengar, which can spawn, but at that point, why not just catch a Haunter and evolve it? Sneasel and Weavile, yeah, I already got those. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what else spawns here. What else do I need? I do need a Stantler to get a Weirdy. Where do I get a Stantler in this game? Because I do know, I'm pretty sure, it spawns here. Somewhere here. I'm not going to waste too much time evolving them, at least not yet. First, let's actually go out and catch what we need. So let's see, getting Stantler. Doesn't Stantler flee? Okay, so it's near the center base. Let's go there. But which direction? Aha! I'm pretty sure they run away, so I should very much save the game. Wait, that's not how you crouch. How do you crouch in this game? There you go. Did it just duck? Oh, it just fell asleep. Oh, it's actually adorable when it sleeps. Oh, I thought this thing would flee. Why'd that take so long to catch? Whatever, we got Stantler. Ooh. We got Stantler. What else do we need? I don't know. Golem doesn't spawn here. We literally just saw it. Oh, Cherubi's gonna be tough. You know what? I don't want to think about Cherubi right now. Vespiquen's not here. Where does Scyther spawn? I forget if you can even catch a Cleavor in this game, or if you have to evolve it. Oh, that's right. I also have to think about what might spawn only during day and nighttime. Okay, I see here it does spawn at the Grand Tree Arena. I should also keep an eye out for any shaking trees. Is that male? I need a female for Vespiquen. Is that male? I think it is. Yeah, that's male. Are we even in range of the Grand Tree Arena anymore? Unless you're telling me it spawns right there at the tree. This tree looks like the stage for a Mario Galaxy boss. Aha! So, how's everyone doing? I know you are very aggressive, so I don't even need to worry about you trying to flee. Oh, you're only level 16. Here I was getting ready to attack you, to weaken you. I really was thinking about that too. I probably should prepare something with False Swipe. Is False Swipe in this game? After what happened last time with that alpha. I got too lucky there, you know? Thank you. Okay, that's another one crossed off. I do need Gyarados. Where was the static Gyarados I saw last time? I think here in the Obsidian Fieldlands, there's one flying around. But the one we saw last time in the, what was it, Coronet Highlands? There was another one, like they're just swimming in the water, making it much easier to get. Let me just see, what can I catch here while I'm here? Where the hell do I get a Mr. Mime in this game? You know what, I'm immediately gonna go back on what I said. And let's go somewhere else. Because I feel like there's a lot more to catch elsewhere. There's only a handful for me to catch here. And I'm also going to start organizing. Okay. Okay, so first put the shinies where the shiny boxes are. I do not need Bidoof, so how do I release? What? How do I multi-select again? Okay, move you guys to your own designated boxes. It's gonna be super annoying because I constantly have to go back and forth between the boxes. I really hate that about Pokemon games, how some games, the Pokemon gets sent to whatever was the last box you had open, but in other games, it just gets sent to the first available space in your PC. I hate that. Anyways. Aww. They're everywhere. Okay, let me see. Crimson Mirelands. Let me take a look. Crimson Mirelands, we need stuff like Hippowdon. I think Skuntank spawns here too. Is this the one with the Ursaring? I think this is the one with the Sliggoo as well. Wasn't there an Alpha Goodra somewhere? Man, don't think about it, just go. No matter where you go, you'll have things you need to catch. Let me take a look at this Meowp. Man, it's been a long time since I did this. Even without the shiny charm, it's so easy to get shinies just by flying over them and seeing the initial spawn. Nothing here. Oh, those are Spiritomb. I don't need those anymore. Let's just play around. Let's see what there is spawning here. What's here? Lickitung. Oh, and a Licky Licky. A very small Licky Licky. Did I need any of that? Lickitung, Licky Lickies. I do need Licky Licky. Let me just land. Save. I said land. Why is the Licky Licky so far away? Oh, you're not, What the? Alright, Licky Licky's done. Let's see what else we can maybe find. Saves me the hassle of having to evolve some of these. this one. What are those? Swinubs. Whoops. I don't think I need Swinub. Did I maybe need Mammal Swine? Yes, I did. I did need Mammal Swine. Though I think you can maybe just catch Mammal Swine straight up in this game. I'll have to look into that later. But for now, let's just take a look at what else may spawn. So we did get a couple of movie trailers. So we have the trailer for the next Minions movie, Minions and Monsters. I already said before that I'm not a huge fan of the direction the Despicable Me franchise is going. I said this when I watched, which one was it, the second Minions movie? The fact that I'm not a huge fan of them going into a more supernatural route. And I'm pretty sure this third Minions movie is also going to be a prequel. So, you know, the fact that we already see genuine monsters in the trailer, we now know with the context, every time we rewatch the first Despicable Me film, that monsters exist in this world. Genuine monsters. Magic, monsters, it's like, what happened to just being a grounded universe with minions? Okay. And you know, have you guys noticed that Illumination's animation is good? Like, a little too good? Their animation was good all the way back in the very first Despicable Me film, but if you really If you really pay close attention, you'll notice that the animation has slightly changed. It's higher quality. And to me, it's like, it's kind of too high quality. Or am I just insane? Because it kind of looks so realistic to the point it's like, it's a little too much, no? Or maybe that's just me. I do know I need Roserade. I don't know if you could. That's not Roserade. I don't know if you can just straight up catch Roserade in this game. Well, there's a Roselia on my screen. I'm pretty sure Roselia is not hard to catch in this game anyways. Like, it's pretty common. But there's a Roselia on my screen. Let me just go ahead and get that. The stupid targeting in this game! Wow, that is a high level. Alright. We also got a teaser trailer, I think, for Exit 8. Another game adaptation. Of course. Okay, I really need to prepare something with False Swipe. It's okay, it was just a Roselia, it's not that big a deal. Why are there swine-ups everywhere? Yeah, to my surprise, Exit 8 is getting an adaptation. I feel like we really are living in the golden era of video game movies. I mean, just think about all the video game movies we've gotten and are going to get. Five Nights at Freddy's, Mario, Detective Pikachu, albeit that one is pretty forgettable, you know. Just all the live action, or just movie adaptations for video games. Detective Pikachu kind of falls under the radar. No one talks about it. The fact that we actually have a live action Pokemon movie and nobody talks about it. I don't think I need Pachirisu. Nope, no I don't. Pachirisu already taken care of. But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's, Mario, Pokemon. We're getting a live-action Legend of Zelda movie soon. Let's see. Iron Lung, that just came out. What else did we get? Sonic. If you want to count it, the Tetris movie, though that one, that barely counts. What else? What other video game films have we gotten? Mortal Kombat. Although the first film was disappointing. The first film wasn't even about the Mortal Kombat tournament. The first film was just leading up to the Mortal Kombat tournament. Which is why I have much higher expectations for the second movie, because it's actually dealing with the Mortal Kombat tournament. Alright, now I don't know what to do, because the massive mass outbreaks kind of mess with some of the spawns in the area, so I don't even know where I'm going anymore. Like, what's been shifted around. Aha! Skuntank! I do need you. Let's see, so yesterday night, a couple of friends came over, and, well, it wasn't all smooth sailing. What do I use against you? So yeah, yesterday night some friends came over, and, well, for most of them, this was the first time they ever came over. Like, all the years I've known these guys, they haven't came over once. They wanted to... They did bring food. They wanted to bring more food, but then they were saying how the pizza they ordered was messed up by some fresh-off-the-boat ass worker who couldn't even understand English. Like, he was the only one working there, so they didn't really have any choice. Messed up the order, even when they said, this is wrong, please fix it, he didn't understand. They told me they even tried pointing at the menu, and he didn't understand. So at that point, it's like, alright, well, we're clearly not going to get anywhere here, so let's just go. We'll take what we got, and we'll just go. So they came with, I don't know, what looked like a medium pizza, maybe? Could have been a large, I don't know. They also came with, or attempted to come with wings. Inside the box were 5 wings, 5 boneless wings, and 5 potato wedges. 5 of each. And then they also brought over Costco sushi, which I didn't eat any because I'm not a big fan of sushi. Okay, what else am I missing here? So we need to go over to the bog area because we're missing Hippowdon. Ooh, I should also keep an eye out if there's any haunters. Well, catching a Ghastly is not a big deal. But, you know, would just save me the trouble if I could just find a haunter. Pretty sure they spawn somewhere. So, yesterday night... Oh, is it from the New Market location? They're the only one that make fresh sushi. I don't know. I don't know. There was one... Oh, look at that! Speak and you shall receive. And they're both something I need. I just hope... Well, one of them might be scared off. To my surprise, one of the sushi pieces had a ton of scallions wrapped into it. I'm just thinking, I've never seen scallions inside a sushi before. Anyway, so these guys, they came over and they didn't really know what to do. They were debating, like, is this enough food? Maybe we should go out and get more food. Did not happen. So, we didn't watch any movies. We did watch a couple things. Just for fun, a friend of mine put on the Solo Leveling Abridged. I had never watched Solo Leveling. I had never watched Solo Leveling, let alone ever heard about it. The Abridged was, I mean, it's abridged. It's as heinous as you would expect. I don't know, it makes me kind of want to watch the real thing. Like, what goes on in the real show? Man, imagine that being your first introduction to an anime, watching the abridged. Man, if Crunch knocked you up, what makes me think a stab move wouldn't? At this point, I should just throw Pokeballs at you. And while we were browsing for something to watch, Hazbin Hotel showed up, and one of my friends, well, he's very much a contrarian. You know, he loves to argue. He loves to point out small things you do and just make fun of you for it. And when Hazbin Hotel showed up, he's just like, oh, that shitty-ass show? That show that is absolute garbage? And, you know, as someone who actually watched the show and genuinely very much enjoyed it, I don't want to say I completely took offense to that, but he was just like, man, from all the clips I've seen online, all the things I've heard about the show, they swear up a storm in the show. Every other word is a swear word just because of their bad writing. They can't write competently, so they just fill every other word as a swear word, and I'm just like, as someone who genuinely watched the show, that is not the case. And then he said, all the clips I've seen, man, the show is garbage. I'm just like, what clips did you watch? All of them. Which ones? All of them. Name one. There's too many for me to name. Name just a single one. Yeah, he didn't say anything. He just kept on trying to argue. Man, you know, I'm not gonna go all the way and say, oh, I'm offended. How dare he talk trash about the show I very much enjoy. You know, he's very much entitled to his opinion. Not everything is for everyone, I know that. But on the other hand, it's like, well, you didn't even give the show a shot. Hell, you claimed to watch all the clips and not like a single one, yet you couldn't name a single clip. You said you watched all of them, but you can't name a single clip off the top of your head. Not one. So, to me, it's like, damn, how are you gonna judge the show and hate on it so much when you didn't even give it a shot, you know? And you know how I feel about that. Good shows or bad shows, I still give them a shot. I still watch them. And if they're bad shows, genuinely bad shows, and get hated on, then if it's a bad show, it's justified. But Hazbin Hotel is popular for a reason. The clips online get millions of views for a reason. Here I am trying to defend the show, but like, you know how I feel about that. The fact that people don't even watch the show and already hate on it. But I understand, because sometimes it's justified. Some shows are justified just because of the principle for them existing. Kind of like, I don't know, The Acolyte, where it's universally hated, universally a bad show. And there might be like 1, 2, 10 people who liked the show. Majority did not. And when majority did not, then that should tell you the show is genuinely bad. I don't know, it's just the fact that he just went off about the show without even watching it, without even giving it a try. Hey, I take offense to that. There are 11, including me. What else do I need? Do I get No, no, not here. It's not here I get that. So we got this covered. What about this? Pretty sure I can get this here. I mean, I understand the fact that Hazbin Hotel has a lot of controversy behind it. With the creator... honestly, I don't really care. As long as the product I'm enjoying, I don't necessarily care that much. You know, there was all the drama with the creator, and then with Verbal Ace, it's just like... Sure, I can understand hearing the drama and the controversies putting you off, but if you were to actually watch the show and give it a shot, if you actually gave it a shot and you still don't like it, alright, fine. You gave it a shot, it's not for you, that's fine. But you didn't watch it, you're not even gonna give it a shot, you know nothing about the show, you watched quote-unquote all the clips, and yet can't name a single one. It's just like, well, how can I kind of not get defensive, especially when it's something I genuinely enjoy? But whatever, more for me to enjoy, he can be butthurt all about it. Where am I even going? You know what, let's not wander blindly. Let's actually go places where we know there are things we can catch. Man, that whole time I only caught 2 things. Anyways, you guys know how I always say, like, I have no one to talk to? All the shows that oh my god. Wow, look at that. You know how... You know how I always say I have no one to talk to because nobody watches the same things I do? Well, now this kind of puts that into the negatives. I don't only have 0 people to talk to, I have negative. Because they flat out will just bash the shows I enjoy. Well, ain't that nice, you know? That's a fantastic feeling. I love this feeling. Who wouldn't enjoy this feeling? What do I need from this area? Okay, Onyx and Steelix I can catch. I'm pretty sure there's static ones around here. And then... I can also catch Golem, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. Is there a Golem I can catch? Or do I have to catch a Graveler? If I need to catch a Graveler, then that's fine. But just to make sure. Aha! I need a good place to land. Are you serious? Any move I use will knock you out, so I just have to try to use... I just have to try to do that. Bakugan indeed. So we have Golem and Magearna as Pokemon Bakugan. Alright, that's Golem. Let me see. I'm not going to do this for a specific reason. Golem kind of lazy Bakugan. Well, there's only so many designs in the world that can be original. I don't know if the Ursaring spawn is going to take over the other things. Is this even... No, no, the Onyx and Steelix, they spawn higher up. That terrain is too grassy. They need to be up here where it's more rocky. What is that up there? Is that the Magnet Zone? It is. Well, I'm glad that up here I don't have to battle you. I don't need Rhydon. I do need Rhyperior, which I think I can catch. Do I need Chimecho? Chimecho, Chimecho, Chimecho. Nope. I'm good on Chimecho. Yeah, Magirna's a bit better. Okay, so there's an Onyx right there. Yeah, I can't catch you guys when you're aggroed like that. Well, same thing. Chip away at your health. I was about to say. Alright, now where's that Alpha Steelix at? Oh, right there! Ah, remember the last time I tried to catch an Alpha Steelix? Let's see how this one goes. This won't knock you out, right? Yeah, not even close. See, thankfully this time, I don't need to catch Steelix using only a Pokeball, because this is only for the Dex entry, so I can use things that are stronger than a Pokeball, if I had any! Bro looked over and was like, try again, I dare you. See, why couldn't it have been this easy last time I tried to catch an Alpha Steelix? Shit's rigged. What's next? What do I need next? What is that? That's a Rhyhorn. Okay, what else do I need? Is there anything I can catch here? I don't know, maybe... No, you spawn, at least Duskull spawns, over at the Cobalt Coastlands. I do need a Gliscor, though I don't know if... I don't know if I can just straight up catch a Gliscor in this game. I might need to catch a Gligar and evolve it. Let me see, Gliscor... Coronet Highlands, Primeval Grotto. Where is that? Oh. Well, I suppose it won't hurt for me to look up where it spawns. I mean, obviously a lot of stuff I can easily catch from massive mass outbreaks. But, like, I'm not going to bank on those specifically. I'm not going to solely rely on those. Okay, so there's maybe one... Yeah, right there. Around there. This video shows an Alpha Gliscor. I don't know if it's static or not. It might... Nope, nope, there it is. I was about to say it might be nighttime only. Never mind. So, what do I have good against Gliscor? Nothing! Don't miss. Thank you. Why are Alpha so much easier to catch in this game? Okay, so that's Gliscor taken care of. Who the hell aggroes me right now? Well, we're not doing this in any particular order. Let's go to the coastlands, since we have a lot there we can catch. Also got to keep organizing. Okay, you can go. I don't need you. Felt like there was more for me to talk about. Wait, no. While we're still here, we can also get that Gyarados. Oh, I should have healed my Pokemon while I was still there. I mean, I'm still here, so why am I on my way to leaving? Gyarados, was that down here or was that up? Was Gyarados here? I know I saw Gyarados a lot of times previously, and I didn't catch it. Or was it over there? What are you guys up to? I think Gyarados is here. What is that? That's a Sneasel. What the hell? You're up to Bakugan? Nice. Are you still spending your hard-earned money on your 1K balls? Make a non-spherical Bakugan. Ah, yes, I remember when those started coming out. Now, I haven't bought anything in a while because everything is too expensive. You can generalize that statement to just everything. Not just Bakugan. Okay, now let's head over to the coastlands. Anyway, so I've babbled long enough tonight. I still got 2 shows to go over. We still got Monarch and Wonder Man to go over. Which, oh, speaking of which is not relating at all, we got a Season 2 trailer for Ted. Remember when I was gonna watch that as well? Yeah, I still have yet to watch that. The Ted Show. You know, Seth MacFarlane actually revealed that after the 2 Ted movies, they were going to have a TV show that continued right after. But plans changed because Mark Wahlberg was just too busy. And me personally, I'm just like, busy with what? I haven't seen Mark Wahlberg in anything in a long time. Though that's probably just me. You fool! Aw, I was trying to get a backstrike. I don't need you, but it's just, you're annoying, so I'm gonna take you out. Now that's the prize right there. I don't have ground moves. But yeah, can you believe, because Mark Wahlberg was too busy, so they pivoted to making a prequel? I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm sure the show is hilarious, I just haven't seen it yet. And I'm kind of surprised we're actually getting a Season 2. See, in my mind, Ted and Monarch are quite a pair, because I was gonna watch both at the same time, not knowing if either one would be getting a Season 2, and here we are. Both of them are getting a Season 2. Both of them were announced to be getting a Season 2 back to back. How nuts is that? So me pairing these shows in my mind was just a coincidence. Alright, so let's talk about these shows. Actually, first, let me mention. So you know how I am indeed alone tonight? So my family's movie is starting at 10:10, but we know how theaters, they show a lot of trailers beforehand, so their film is probably starting at like 10:30. So at this point, it would have only started like 10 minutes ago, assuming it actually started at 10:30. Give or take, the movie is about 2 hours long, and then the time it takes for them to actually get home, so they're probably not going to get home until like 1 in the morning. Which is fine, I'm here doing this. Okay, so that's Drapion done. What else do I need from here? I think this was in the Mirelands. Oh, I don't have this? I don't think I can actually just catch this straight up. So I need to catch a Spheal and evolve it. What Pokemon would go for after Enamorus? Nothing planned at the moment. Well, actually, there's more shiny hunts I could definitely do on screen, but Nothing planned at the moment. Enamorus is the last thing I plan to shiny hunt on screen for a while. Okay, for now, we'll cross off Walrein. Oh, we need Remoraid and Octillery. Just a hunch. I think they spawn somewhere around here. Thing is, I don't know where. I also need a Tentacruel. And a Mantine, too. I'm pretty sure I also need Basculegion. What is that? What is that? Aha! Oh yeah, there's also a static Octillery I could go for. I can actually... Oh, you're right, the Alpha Walrein. Why didn't I think of that? It's been too long since I last played this game. Don't worry, I'll have plenty of time with this game in the future. After I'm done this, I'll be working on my Alpha decks in this game. Lots of time to spend with this game in the future. Was that Octillery here, or was it somewhere else? No, I think it's... No, I think it's over there. Oh, nope, it is here. You're not aggro, but what is? Nothing at the moment to take this opportunity. I wish Basculegion can spawn in the wild. Yeah, it is kind of annoying. Now, I've evolved a good number of Basculins in my day into Basculegion. But surprisingly, never one that came from this game. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up! Why did I send you out? Well, even if I sent out Luxray, it'll probably just one-shot you. So it's probably a good thing I sent out Floatzel. Ah. Do I have all 3 Hisui starters? Of course, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Okay, so Octillery's done. What else can I get here? I still need to find where is it? Where the Tentacruel is, the Mantine. I know I've seen them around here before. I also need a Dusclops or something in the line. They spawn here at night. Okay, in the meantime, let me go back to just any camp. Dusknoir is in Alabaster Icelands, is it? Well, if it is, that would save me a lot of trouble. Heal. Isn't something knocked out? Also Organize. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what, Well, actually, hold on. Let me see if I can find that Alpha Walrein around here. That's right. Didn't it spawn over there? That's an Alpha... Can I not lock on while on you? Well, I do need Perugly. Wow, that counted as a backstrike? What can I use that won't knock you out? Here, Quick Attack! Do you have a non-rideable Weirdeer? No. Which is why I caught the Stantler from earlier. Aha! Oh, never mind. I see I do have Basculegion. My bad. See, this is why I have the list in front of me. See? I do have Basculegion. Here, can this not knocked out? Thank you. Oh. Stantler needs to use Psy Shield Bash 20 times. Yeah, it's annoying. Of course. Yeah, some of the evolutions are annoying, especially if they're exclusive to this game. Modern day Stantler just can't evolve. Agile style Psy Shield Bash. I'm going to save all the evolutions for the very end. For now, let's just go out and catch everything we need. Hiya! Alright, so you use rest again. Let me see, hold on. Let's try this. We may not need to try Decidueye. Perfect, and you even self-inflicted a status. Okay. Let's see, what else can I get from this area? I know I need these two. I can get the Alpha Garchomp later. I don't think there's really anything else here besides the Mantine and the Tentacruel. Gonna mark off Weirdeer? I will. I will later on. Gotta send them to home to mark them off. Okay, where do I get Mantine? I typed Mintine. Well, everything I'm seeing is just how to evolve it. Can't I catch it in the wild somewhere? Oh yeah, the Alpha Electivire over at the Coronet Highlands. Yeah. Well, this video right here is saying how to catch Alpha Mantine. It's basically just saying get lucky and encounter it in the wild. Try to ride the waves with Basculegion. Right on, dude. Anyways. The hell? Well, I still need to talk about the shows before we end tonight. So let's get started with the show. So, Monarch episode... Which one is this one? Episode... 6? I think? Yeah, episode 6. So, this episode actually doesn't have any sort of opening scene. It just straight up starts with the credits. Or the opening sequence. So I'm going to talk about the flashback storyline first before talking about the modern day storyline. So in the flashback storyline, we open up and it's now 1955 and we see General... Wait, no, he's not General. We do see Lee attending this like party that's annually thrown. Aha, look at that. That's annually thrown, and Keiko comes in dressed up in a really hot dress. Now, there are tensions between, well, given the time period. That's not who I meant to throw this at. Given the time period, people are still giving Japanese people the side eye. It's the 1950s after all. Nope. So people aren't showing her really any respect. Once again, you have to remember the time period. Well, the General, we already know General Puckett is a bit of a dick, as are all, like, military leaders that are written in these shows. Keiko's particularly not a fan of him. Is this Tentacruel static, or did I just get lucky and find an alpha? Well, regardless, we got it. Now I can flee. Now we just need Mantine. So to cheer up Keiko, Lee offers to have a dance with her, so they share a slow dance together. Once again, more people are still giving her the side eye, but, well, I knew this was coming. I knew this would happen at some point. Come on. 2 guys and 1 woman, like a group of 3, 2 guys and 1 woman, obviously there would have been a love triangle. But we ultimately know that Keiko chooses Bill. But, come on, I obviously knew that at some point Lee would fall for Keiko. So anyways, they dance, and then they almost try to sneak up to Lee's hotel room to, you know, do the dirty. But then they're disrupted by not only the elevator being super slow, but also by some bellhop being like, Lee Shaw, there's an important, urgent message for you. By Bill Randa. Lee Shaw, anywhere? Really trying to avoid him, but it's like, ah, man, you being a bit of a cock block right now, bro, but whatever. So they have an urgent message from Bill. So they go to where Bill is at. He's working instead of attending the party. And hey, they picked up a signal that they really should investigate. Is it another Titan? Well, it's not another Titan, and they really need to go investigate. So they need to make a trip to Japan, but they can't all go. Because the next night, that's when they will have to give out their pitch to what it is they're doing. I should have saved the game. Well, I don't need Luminion, but, you know, Alpha Dex. I may as well work on it whenever I can. But that's not the focus right now. So yeah, the next day they need to give their pitch to why Monarch needs to do what it does. Bill put it in a very great way. We need money to go after these Titans, but we need a Titan to prove that we need money. So Lee has to stay behind in America to pretty much distract and cover for the military while Bill and Keiko go to Japan. And while Bill and Keiko go to Japan, they actually meet someone else. They meet a new character, Oh, I almost thought that was a shiny. I thought that was a shiny Tentacool. Yeah, they made a new character, Dr. Suzuki, who is also researching Titans. We see that he has developed a doohickey of his, kind of shaped like a sea mine, but that's not the purpose. It simulates gamma radiation, in which Titans attracted to gamma radiation should respond to. Keiko puts it as he built a Titan telephone, but Bill, he likes to call it Titan bait. So they are in communication, you know, the very janky communication they had back in the 50s. Bill is able to communicate with Lee from all the way across the world, checking in on his friends, but especially checking in on Keiko. Hey Bill, how's Keiko doing? Lee, though, he feels left out. No, he don't. He feels like he's apart from his woman. So he actually goes over to General Puckett's home barbecue. Felt like there could have been a better time to do that, but whatever. He has some sort of envelope with him, which almost you think it's like his resignation, but it's not. We don't even learn what's in the envelope. Lee goes to General Puckett and basically just says, oh, there it is. Basically just says that his people, his team, they need him, so he can't be here. What? And General Puckett, he's just like, alright, if you make good decisions, then that'll reflect decisions I have to make. But if you make bad decisions, then I have to make my own decisions accordingly to the things that you do. There's some top tier foreshadowing for the plot later. So anyways, back in Japan, which I also gotta say, everyone in the show is able to just teleport. I'm kidding, obviously, all the plane flights happen off screen, but still, it's like, wow, they really just teleport to the other side of the world. These characters, all the time. All of the flights are obviously off screen. It's like, not a single one of them has any jet lag. So in Japan, they're preparing their quote-unquote Titan telephone, or Titan bait. And that's when Lee shows up. He shows up in just a, I'm not gonna lie, he looks more fresh in this than he does the usual military outfit he wears. He just shows up in a plain white dress shirt. Man looks fine and fresh in that shirt, I'm not gonna lie. It's like so much better looking than the military getup that he has. So, obviously, he came all the way to Japan, leaving his post for Keiko. So, Bill is able to pick up on the vibes. He's just like, hey, Dr. Suzuki, you know what's worse than being a third wheel? A fourth wheel. Come on, let's give these two some space. So, Keiko's actually pretty upset that Lee has traveled all the way across the world. Because, he had a reason to stay in America, to cover for them while they were gone. So the two of them talk, they discuss how they can't be together, because, at what point will they have to draw the line from what needs to be done to save the world versus what they themselves want. Obviously, none of them really care that much, so they kiss. But then Keiko realizes, hey, wait, that Titan bait, which, by the way, is just on a dinky little canoe out in the middle of the lake, which the pier. Obviously, it has a connect to the ocean. She realizes that it stopped working. Like, it's gone. I also can't believe that enormous contraption, that giant spike ball, is able to float in the water just on a dinky little canoe. Where is the Tangrowth here? I know there's a static Tangrowth somewhere. Well, whatever has that giant bait, just spits it back out, launches it back at them out of the water, and then what emerges? Godzilla emerges. Godzilla was attracted to the bait. Godzilla shows up, and Lee is just like, holy shit, we didn't actually kill it. Which is a pretty big deal, because to these characters, they thought they killed Godzilla years ago. But only to find out that, no, Godzilla survived and is, you know, in peak condition. So now they know that Godzilla's still alive, and the fact that the military, the US military, threw everything they had at Godzilla and it did not kill him. So what if another Titan shows up, one that's worse? What do they do then? So Lee has no choice but to report this to General Puckett. And Keiko is obviously against that idea, because, you know, obviously, if they build a bigger weapon to try to kill it next time and it doesn't work, then they'll just build an even bigger weapon to try again. And if it doesn't kill Godzilla, well, they'll try it on something else. So by the time these guys, once again, teleported back to America, like, holy shit. Once these guys are back in America, they try to go back to their research lab, their station, but, oh no, it's been taken over by other people. Because due to Lee abandoning his post, General Puckett assigned a different faction of the military to take over. So Lee kind of screwed up, because now they don't have the authority anymore to control their own narrative. So now they have no choice but to report to their superior about everything that they know and found on Titans. So no more secrets can be kept from the military. And obviously Keiko is pretty pissed at Lee himself. Well, that's majority of the backstory, like the flashbacks story. Let's see, in modern day, we see the elderly Lee Shaw being escorted through Alaska, but then the truck actually gets stopped by none other than Duvall. She's able to very smartly speak French to Lee Shaw, that way only they can understand, but none of the other people do. After she, like, discombobulates the other people. You know, she just questions to Lee Shaw, like, why are you so important? You know? So Duvall reveals that she had a sister who worked in Japan. And, you know, she, among a lot of other people, joined Monarch with the mindset of never again after the Godzilla attack. No, if only they knew the events that would happen in the future. If only they knew. Once Ghidorah shows up, once Mechagodzilla emerges, once Hollow Earth is discovered. Oh, if only they knew. Anyway, so let me see. What do I need here? Oh yes, the Alpha Garchomp. Where is that? Where does the Alpha Garchomp spawn? But that's only Garchomp, though. I still need Gabite. I also need to go back for the Electivire. Anyway, so Duvall teams up with Lee Shaw. She is sick and tired of the way that Monarch is running things. So she has abandoned her post. She has completely abandoned ship. And she's now joining a coup with Lee Shaw and the others. Where is this? Okay, it's all the way down in the corner. So, they also realize, somehow, that our characters are back in San Francisco. And, once again, they just magically teleport there from Alaska. Like, our characters already realize they need to go to Africa. Now, I'm sure planning a flight to Africa, you're not going to be able to do that the same day. But, like, wow. Lee and Duvall, they were able to fly all the way from Alaska to San Francisco, track down exactly where Kate's house is, make it there. I don't know, and once again, it doesn't look like they have any jet lag. I guess when it comes to movies and shows, you just have to suspend disbelief, and jet lag just isn't a thing. Oh. I don't know if you can catch a Gabite in the wild, so I'll just catch this Gibble. So, after some convincing, Lee assures them that Duvall is on our side now. Let's head to Africa. And then, the next time we meet up with our characters, they're in Africa. But before that, as they're on their way to Africa, we also see what Monarch is doing, and Monarch is close behind their trail. Ooh, I like this music. Very serene. You know, I never really paid attention to the soundtrack of this game, and now that I'm playing it again, it's like, I like what I hear. Oh, you just had to turn around. Oh, God. So anyways, yeah. Monarch, we see Tim, and we also see, what the hell was her name again? Verdugo, that's it. I keep forgetting her name. We see Tim and Verdugo in Hiroshi's office, and they were able to track the fact that our characters were there because of the phones that they gave them, obviously. I'm going to assume that's how Lee and Duvall found them. Know where to go, know where Kate's house is, because they still have the phones that Monarch gave them. Stupidly, they haven't figured out yet that they're being tracked. But whatever. So while in that office, they try to find hints on where to go next. Tim actually was super smart and figured out everything, Akane style. It's like, damn. Once again, a case of the characters figuring everything out miraculously. So Tim realizes Hiroshi rented this office with the $1 million view, but the way his desk is, his back is facing the windows, which means he has to be looking at this wall, a wall that no longer has anything because last time, Kentaro and the rest of them took down what was there. And remember when I mentioned that they completely dropped all the push pins? Well, Tim is able to see on the wall that there's a bunch of holes where the push pins were. And, wow, based on the holes in the wall, he's able to recognize a pattern. He's just like, don't these holes look familiar? We have a map like this before with the gamma radiations. He asks, He asked Verdugo, why was Hiroshi exiled from Monarch? It's because he kept on using the satellites to track things that it wasn't meant to track. You know, stuff like gamma rays. Anyway, so yada yada yada. Tim drawing a map on the wall, and the pins, the holes on the map, not only show Monarch outposts, it also shows a pattern. Like a pattern of gamma ray spikes of places that, well, we already been to. Places like Alaska, where they discovered a brand new Titan. So then he circles a couple of locations that have gamma spikes, but have not been visited yet. Someplace in, like, the Philippines or whatnot. Some other place in Asia, and then lastly, Africa. So how did they deduce Africa was their next stop instead of the other two? I guess they had a 1 in 3 shot to guess. This is what Cynthia's Garchomp looks like in canon. This is why you have a spiny chair for the view and dramatic reveal. Oh, a spinny chair. Anyway, so yeah, they realize exactly where they need to go. Somehow. Well, that's my entire team. So, our characters, they've made it all the way to Africa. Looks more just like a desert tundra to me. Anyway, so they made it to Africa, where they first meet up with just a bunch of people camping out there, who are also supposedly Monarch desertees, people who are sick of Monarch and have jumped ship. Kate, she's against this because she wants absolutely nothing to do with Monarch. But after some convincing, she's convinced to tag along, to go with it. So, they ride around for a bit in a bunch of like dune buggies and what looks like a little bit larger size golf carts. So they ride around in the desert until they reach the point on the map So they reach the point of the map, they look over the edge, and they actually see Hiroshi. They actually found their father. Hiroshi is just in the middle of nowhere with his pickup truck with some sort of familiar looking contraption on there. So Kate and Kentaro are ecstatic. They're excited. They found their father, who was alive. Must be pretty shocking for Hiroshi to see both his children together. It's like, oh shit, they found out about each other. Uh-oh. And oh no, my children are here in a very dangerous location that I'm doing something. So yeah, Kentaro and Kate, they call out to their father very excitedly, very happy that he's alive. You know, even Lee Shaw is calling out to what he referred to as more of a son than a nephew. But he takes a look with his binoculars once again. He sees the contraption on the back of Hiroshi's truck, and he's just like, oh shit. He's not waving at us to say hi, he's waving us off. Everyone, we need to run, now. We need to run, right now. Okay, I don't need the gibble. So Hiroshi very frantically gets back into his truck and drives off. And then we see, not only do we see a Monarch helicopter approach, like holy shit, everyone in this show really can just teleport. Because inside the helicopter also has Tim. So, yeah, not only did the Monarch helicopter show up, but something begins to emerge from the ground. Not only does it pretty much destroy and actually kill, well, all the unimportant characters. All the unimportant background characters who joined our group. Yeah, they're all dead. Wow, how convenient. Only our main character survived, and not a single unnamed character survived. Anyways, yeah. Everyone unimportant is dead except for our main characters. And, you know, Hiroshi got back into his truck and drove off. what exactly was emerging from the ground? Well, it's kind of hard to see given that it's the desert, it's very rocky and dusty. But once the dust settles, once Kate looks back, she sees a very rough, scaly face, and the eye looks back at her, and then it just gets up. It's Godzilla! Godzilla, for some reason, was just lying there in Africa. I don't know, hibernating? For some reason, Godzilla was just lying there and somehow got covered up to the point it just blended in and camouflaged with the desert. You know, you would think a ginormous creature like Godzilla would stick out just lying there, but no, Godzilla was somehow completely covered up. But yeah, Godzilla emerges and just starts walking away. And also, for some stupid reason, the Monarch helicopter doesn't pull back, doesn't pull up. It just stays there in range. Tim just has to shout to these idiots, "Pull up!" But it's too late. Their chopper blades get caught up in Godzilla's spike, and then they kind of have to fly off somewhere. Dumbasses. Was the view too fantastic and shocking to the point you forgot what you were doing there? You forgot your job? But yeah, I don't think I mentioned yet, the device in the back of Hiroshi's truck was the exact same Titan bait we see in the 1950s flashback. Now, I don't know if it's the exact same one, or if over the years Hiroshi recreated it, but why did Hiroshi have it? We know it's a Titan bait, so why was he trying to attract a Titan, let alone Godzilla? We do also hear throughout the episode that Lee is constantly warning our characters something is coming. Something like G-Day times 100, maybe times 1,000. And, yeah, the events that we see coming up that take place in the movies, yeah, that is kind of G-Day times 100, times 1,000. Like, these guys haven't gone through the Godzilla vs. Kong in Hong Kong yet. Or Godzilla and Kong fighting Mechagodzilla in Hong Kong once again. Why is Hong Kong such a punching bag for them? Oh, but don't worry. Once they face off Shimo and the other giant primate I forget the name of, don't worry. That takes place in Brazil. So anyways, our characters, they want to figure out a way to stop Godzilla. But Lee is just like, stop it? What do you mean? We're trying to help it. And then they all collectively turn against Lee Shaw for some reason. They're just all like, nah, you're crazy. We want no part of this. We're out. It's like, alright, fine. You go like 10 clicks that way, you'll find civilization again. And then Lee and Duvall, they just, the two of them together just flip up the vehicle? Like I know it's kind of like an oversized golf cart, but that thing is still heavy. And the two of them are able to just casually push it back onto its wheels. Like it was on its side. Have you ever... You know how heavy an actual golf cart is? And a 90-plus-year-old man and, well, I don't know, a young adult woman are able to just push it back up on its wheels. Yeah, no. No. Anyway, so yeah, they just put the car back on and they just drive off. Our characters, they start walking through the desert. Kate, she's happy. She's ecstatic. She just found her father. He's alive, so they're super happy. At least Kate is. But May, she feels so guilty that she just comes clean. She just tells them both, this is my fault. I sold you out. That's how Monarch found us here. And why did she sell them out? Well, May is just like, in my past life, I wronged some people. Some very pissed off people are after me, so I had to run. I went to Japan until I was found there. Monarch, they made me a deal. If I sold us out, if I gave us our if I give them my location, then they would be able to help me clean up my past and I get to go home. Well, Kate is pretty pissed off at her for this. But May kind of has no choice but just to tag along at the moment since they're kind of stuck in a desert. That's pretty much the episode. Okay, let's see. What else do I need? I still need to go after the entire goddamn Eevee line. That'll be fun. I got this taken care of, this one. I still need this and this. Okay, let's go after Vespiquen. I'm pretty sure I know where that spawns, or at least I know where Combee spawns. That one. Oh, actually, let me check here first, because I might get an Eevee spawn from this. If there's going to be an Eevee spawn, it'll be there. You know something else I forgot to mention about the previous episode of Monarch? Okay, maybe this won't be the Eevee one. It's a little further down. But what is this one? Ah. So something I forgot to mention about the previous episode of Monarch. When they were in the red zone where, you know, looters would maybe get shot at by officials. So they're clearly not supposed to be there. But they're trying to sneak around quietly. For some reason, Kentaro thought it was a good idea to start singing? Start singing the tune and jingles of Japanese commercials that Hiroshi would sing to his kids? It's like, what? I thought you guys were trying to be quiet! Why are you deliberately making noise? I don't know, I just thought that was pretty stupid. Anyway, so let's talk about Wonder Man now, episode 4. This episode primarily did not focus on Wonder Man himself, you know, did not follow Simon. At the end of the last episode, Simon mentions that if anyone were to find out about his powers, he would never be able to work in the industry again. All thanks to Damar Doorman. What the hell was his last name again? Wait a second, what was his last name again? Damar Davis, wasn't it? Yeah, Damar Doorman Davis. And Trevor's just like, I'm sorry, who's Damar Doorman Davis? Well, this episode shows us who Damar Doorman Davis is. So first, Damar was a bouncer for a club. I don't need a beauty fly, but once again, Alpha may as well try to catch it. You're level 77. I'm gonna risk it. It's stab, sure, but it's not that strong. Our agile style and the fact that it's raining, let's see. So this episode, we follow primarily Damar Doorman Davis. At first, he was just a bouncer for a nightclub. And then he was told to take out a bag of garbage. He goes to the dumpster and just finds this goo oozing out of the dumpster. And the goo on the floor ends up being a hole, a portal. He sticks his hand in there, and then he goes to this void that has just a bunch of doorways in it, and then he wakes up back home, and he realizes that he has door superpowers. No, not you. Yeah, he has door superpowers. Wow, a female alpha. Aww. Man, I should... Why did I think that wouldn't knock it out? Whoops. Oh, well. Anyway, so yeah. Damar, he realizes he has, like, door powers or whatnot. And, it seems like he accidentally sent his dog to the apartment that's below his. Didn't I already check that one? You know, so he does have door powers, I guess. He goes back to work. At first, nothing really significant comes from his powers, but then, while he and his boss are outside the club, a fire breaks out. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention. While he was still an ordinary bouncer, Josh Gad shows up. Like, literally the actor Josh Gad just playing himself. You know, I kind of wonder why the Marvel Universe hasn't had more of this yet, where people just play themselves. We had Joe Pantaleone in the previous episodes, and now we have Josh Gad. It makes me wonder, like, when is someone like Gordon Ramsay gonna show up, literally just being himself, Gordon Ramsay. Right? So yeah, Josh Gad shows up, and while he goes into the club, they also mention that they also have Imagine Dragons playing at the club tonight, which didn't actually show up, but whatever, it's cool to actually get a mention. So yeah, Josh Gad shows up, and he's actually, you know, he's tight with Damar. So keep that in mind. So yeah, while Damar and his boss, what was her name, Bailey? While they were out, a fire breaks out at the club while, you know, Josh Gad was singing. Oh, also the whole episode is in black and white for some reason. I don't know. So yeah, Josh Gad is singing, and then a fire breaks out. Everyone is panicking and trying to frantically leave the building, but the door is jammed. I know a fire is dangerous and scary and all, but that fire wasn't that big. And everyone is frantically, you know, trying to bash at the doors, pleading for their lives. Like, please let us out. Help us! Like, that wasn't really that big of a fire, if I'm going to be honest. But, you know, fires are dangerous. Fire will spread. Damar, he has an idea. He phases through the door himself, and then he just tells everyone, alright, go through me! Like, I will be your door. Go through me! Everyone is a little hesitant. They don't really know what he means by that. But Josh Gad, he you know, he volunteers as tribute. So he steps up and actually does it. And it's like, hey, it actually works. Everyone, go through him! Anyway, so they're all saved from the fire, and Josh, he wants to reward Damar. He's just like, come work for me. Once he hears that salary, he's just like, alright, bet. And Josh Gad just has Damar working for him as like an escape. If the building is too crowded, if the fans are a little bit too hectic, well, he can just exit through Damar. Yeah. Alright, so Damar gets actually approached by some person who recruits for films, like recruits looking for new actors. Damar, he's just like, nah, I'm no actor, I can't act. I'm good with my job right now. But then once Josh Gad offers an acting role to him, it's like, alright, it's fine. It'll be very simple. Just say a couple lines and you'll be good. So he agrees. And yeah, Damar Doorman Davis gets more and more famous as an actor. And then he has this, like, borderline stupid catchphrase, this ding-dong catchphrase all the time, to the point where people start getting tired of it online. And, you know, that was your first mistake right there, looking online. It's like, you know damn well you can't please everybody, so just don't even take those comments to heart. The people who say, man, get a new shtick, man, it's like, don't even worry about them. Oh, I do need Honchkrow. So look, a Murkrow outbreak. Cool. I actually don't know where to catch Honchkrow. Or where to catch Murkrow normally. And this is perfect. This is like the area I was going to go to anyways to try to find the Vespiquen. Because I think it spawns around here. Was there a static alpha Vespiquen somewhere in this game? I think, maybe. Anyway, so yeah. Damar Doorman Davis, he likes all this fame and attention he's getting. You know, he goes back to the same bar that he used to work at, and he's treated like royalty there. Anyway, so he has this role coming up, as well as a commercial role coming up. Where, wow, you are low enough level. So he has this comedy gag role on a talk show that kind of looks like the Maury show. The Murray show. I almost felt like Arthur was about to shoot Murray in the face. But yeah, I was getting Joker vibes like crazy. Because when, what's-his-name, the host, was just kind of imitating and borderline mocking Doorman's whole shtick, you know, I almost felt like, you know, he's in the back smoking a cigarette, just staring with disdain. But yeah, we see that he felt kind of embarrassed and felt kind of insulted with that. We also see the very bizarre commercial he's in. A very bizarre, like, laxatives commercial where he just phases through the door while the woman's is on the toilet. While, you know, she's just sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet! Where is this Vespiquen at? Oh, there's a Honchkrow right here. Man, I caught that Murkrow for nothing. Will a water pulse knock you out? No, it doesn't. So anyways, Damar, he's not very satisfied with the way his career is going right now. He also did this commercial for like a potato sack, where you just put a potato into it, you put it in the microwave, and bam, you have a fully prepared potato ready for the eating. But the product was getting backlash because people were getting injured by the steam. Yo, Brainiacs, you cook something in the microwave, it's gonna be hot. Oh my god. And if you have something cooking in the microwave that's sealed, kind of no shit there would be steam. You ever tried cooking any sort of like instant meals in the microwave? Like instant noodles, anything from the freezer? Like, yeah, there's steam, dumbasses. But, you know, Damar, he has to be phony and make an apology video on his Instagram Live in his car. Well, that kind of didn't work for him. Like the commercial thing didn't work for him. And we also see that he has a bunch of letters that are past due, like bills and stuff. So he's kind of not feeling his career right now. So we see just before he has... Oh, right. He also gets called up by Josh Gad for the sequel to the project that they worked on before, the movie. Like Cash Grab, I think it was. They filmed Cash Grab 1 together. And now, Josh Gad returns for... or reaches out to Damar for Cash Grab 2. But Damar, like I said, he's not really feeling his career at the moment. So before the shoot, he just drinks a lot. He's very not happy. Alright, it's time to film the actual movie. He's used as the escape plan in the movie. Like people use... In the movie, his character is the doorway to escaping. Like they toss the money bags through him. He's how they steal the money in the film. So yeah. Also Doorman, he can't necessarily keep his chest door portal open too long. And especially now that he's under the influence, it's not very going well. So as Josh Gad's character in the film is throwing the bags of money through him, Josh Gad's character is just like, I'm going through. He jumps through in slow motion. As Josh Gad's character is jumping through Damar in slow motion, Damar throws up, just lets chunks fly, and then, where's Josh Gad? He disappeared. He didn't reappear. And then we find out it has been months since Josh Gad has vanished. People are still questioning what happened to Josh Gad. Where is he? People are making memorials to Josh Gad. Like, whoa, holy shit. Josh Gad was killed off in the Marvel Universe. He just flat out vanished. What the hell? Wow, that was very unexpected. They killed off Josh Gad in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Wow. So, yeah, ever since that happened, there has been a new law put into place that says superpowered individuals can no longer partake in Hollywood projects and acting projects. Which was actually teased in the first episode when Simon went to audition for Wonder Man, and he was made to sign this this form that says, you know, pretty much you sign this form, you agree that you don't have any superpowers. It's like, why was that important? Well, it's because of this. They don't want superpowered individuals in Hollywood to avoid another incidents like this. To avoid more tragedies like this. And well, we see Simon. First of all, we see the screen fade from black and white to color again. We see Simon, this whole time he was watching this story on his phone, wearing doctor scrubs, next to a whole bunch of other people wearing doctor scrubs. And it turns out, it looks like Simon has a role as like a background paramedic character in a movie, because he was on a movie set, but then he just gets up and walks away, and episode ends. Oops, did not mean to do that. That's fine. I think that's a good place to call it for now. We talked about the episodes. We got a good number of stuff. But before I go, I'm gonna do something. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deposit them in the home, obviously. I still can't believe they just killed off Josh Gad in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How nuts is that? Now, we don't know what happened to him. He may not be dead. But, I can't believe they did that to Josh Gad in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's actually pretty nuts. I can already imagine, behind the scenes, Josh Gad actually reading the script, like, finds it hilarious. Me, like, not even my character, me as a person, being killed off in this pretty, I guess, pretty gruesome way in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, wouldn't you just be honored at that point? Because I know I would. Okay, some of these aren't even for the decks. Some of these are just alphas I caught. And some of them, oh yeah, some of them I didn't even evolve yet. But for now, we'll just get whatever entries we can. Alright, I'm going to put them back into the game, because like I said, some of them I need to evolve still. We'll do that in due time. Alright. Let me just open up my Pokemon Home app on my phone once again. And we'll see the progress we've made. I already did the dishes tonight, so there's nothing else for me to do afterwards. Alright, let's take a look. I am now at 211. I was at, what, like 182 before? So we're making progress. We have things like Golem registered, Scyther, Vespiquen. These guys. A big ball of spit just came out. So yeah, we're making progress. As you can see, there's more things registered now than there was before. But we still have a good amount to do. We have, I think, 31 left to get. 31. Majority of them are the EVs. Well, not a majority. But majority of them I do need to evolve. How the hell do I get Mr. Mime in this game? But yeah, we still have a little bit of work, but not too much. Alright, I'm going to call it here for today. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.